Welcome to part 10 of The Last of Us Remastered. So yeah, now that we found this interesting site of corpses, I guess we might want to leave. Oh, look, new weapon.
Interesting sight of corpses. This is where video game platformers go to die.
A smoke grenade.
And then
get resurrected
rise
from
from
the
the
dead.
grave.
It's so yeah, shit got to a point where people have resorted to cannibalism to survive.
Wait,
Yeah.
oh my god,
Yeah,
guys,
yep.
it all makes sense now.
What?
In this dystopian future, this is the result of Brexit, Trump, and Bubsy returning.
What
I-
could
I-
possibly
in fact,
go
in
wrong,
fact-
they said.
In fact, guys, I feel I can give you guys a guided tour of this place. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the graveyard of dead mascot platformers, so platformer mascots or whatever. On your left, you will see Blinks the Time Sweeper. Above you, you will see the remains of Awesome Possum, and the ground you're walking on was actually made of the fur of Bubsy.
Now, you're probably wondering, why is the grave for Bubsy empty? No, it's not like he could have possibly have popped back out of it.
Yeah, and somehow managed to,
Hold on.
and his model somehow manages to look even worse than this Bubsy 3D model.
Alright, let's hear what they have to say.
Basically, Ellie asked. Well, it's over now, but basically, what happened is Ellie asked him, "How did you know that guy was going to shoot us?" He's like, "I've been on both sides." Yeah, he's been on the other side, so he knows a hunter when he sees one.
I'm just
Makes
going to go
you
with the
wonder about
Spider
his
Sense.
Well, he sort of does with his ultra super hearing.
And hey, this was made by Sony too, so
Oh, I wonder if we'll hear more about the Last of Us sequel at E3.
Probably.
Probably.
maybe.
And we'll probably hear more about Dad of War.
Dad of War.
Hearing more about Kingdom Hearts would be nice, just saying.
Delayed!
No. The Kingdom Hearts free trailer will end with now in development.
I remember an edit I saw on Tumblr of the end of the trailer. It said, worldwide release, never.
I don't get what's taking Kingdom Hearts free song. I mean, I get a Final Fantasy project, but Kingdom
Because
Hearts...
Namora. We've already covered this.
Yeah.
No, because 13 happened.
No.
It's not,
I mean,
it's not so much that, Shio. It's the fact that he's also directing Final Fantasy VII Remake, and that's the one he's literally directing two projects that he cannot afford to screw up. The poor man is under so much pressure. No wonder he's taking his time to see if he can try not to.
Poor guy. I bet he looks worse than Hino.
Not saying something.
I think
Well, actually, that's not surprising. Because Nomura is known among Final Fantasy fans as being a workaholic because he's involved in so many projects at the same time.
You know what's the most amazing thing? Sakurai, the guy who has a problem with his arms, works harder than both of those, and yet somehow doesn't look nearly as tired. I mean, the guy's gotta have a
He's
look.
younger though. I mean, isn't he like still?
He's in his mid-40s, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even still, I mean,
Nomura,
the guy's
Nomura and
problem with
Hino are
his-
now nearly 50.
Yeah, the thing is, like, well, Sakurai also has that weird thing with his arms that makes him hurt a lot, so he sort of has that handicap.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact that Sakurai doesn't even really have bags, though, is amazing, really.
True.
Poor Wata.
Slow down. Wait.
Have you guys seen the offer for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? He's 53 years old, and he doesn't look like he's a day over 25.
So he's like Lucamine.
Yeah, so yeah, that's Japan, Joe. But if you're not older than you look, you're much younger than you look.
Yeah.
That's a
Well,
blessing in disguise.
You honestly, one thing that was a little bit disappointing about Sun and Moon's story is that we never found out just what the hell
Oh, wait,
Sammy
hold
does to make her
on.
look
Not
as young as she
everybody here has
does.
gotten to the end there.
No, Joe. I was just a bit disappointed. We never find out how the Taranay
Don't continue.
looks as young as she does.
Oh, never mind then, okay.
I mean, seriously, there's no mention of like a youth potion or she drinks Pokemon or anything.
I guess there's one thing that's implied.
wait,
It's
maybe?
Pokemon
I
for
know the
sustenance.
No, I know the explanation. She's rich. She can do whatever the hell she wants.
But yeah, she was rich enough to build a freaking island.
Made of metal that floats.
and
Tim Curry
supported
would
by
like-
Pokemon.
Tim Curry would like that. It floats.
What happened to him?
They all float, kid. Oh yeah, that's right. We're getting
I
a
never got how
revival of
it,
that.
I never got how it was meant to be pronounced. Lusamine,
Hold on, conversation.
Lusamine.
Hunters do this?
Cute. And no, my money's on the military.
Why would they mow down all these people?
You can't let everyone in.
Yeah.
They kill them?
Hmm.
Dead people don't get infected. You sacrifice
How
the few to
lucky.
save the many.
Kind of shitty.
Yeah.
Needs of the many outweigh the needs of the
Oh
few.
God. Ugh.
What?
We'll
What,
get
you
to
don't
we'll,
like that line?
we'll get to it. No, that's not that.
Oh!
We'll get to it. Anyway, what happens when the
Food runs out.
all right,
Die.
that's a $1 billion question, Shiroi. What happens when the food runs out? Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun.
You die.
The time is over. Whips, you wanna try?
Sure, but can I ask a question?
No, I'm the host here. I
Yes,
ask the
alright,
questions.
fine.
Alright, fine, you ask it then.
When does what happens when the food runs out?
Can you start the countdown then?
Dun, dun, dun,
You die.
dun. That is up. I'm sorry, but you're absolutely right.
Yay! And I answered it way closer than she did.
Anyway,
so what do I win?
These particular free hunters in this section are, of course, talking, and of course, the recommendation, of course, to hide as best as you can, so you can, because they'll eventually leave. So if you want to not fight and so you can preserve provisions, you might want to sit down and wait for them to leave.
The gentle silence descended upon Joel.
Yes. We cannot afford to make a noise.
Yeah, you can hear a pin drop. Sorry.
Oh,
Yes, Jova?
Yeah? You'll do what? I will see.
Oh no, Joe has been kidnapped by the zombies.
oh, are we about to? I was asking, about to turn this into another 50 Shades of Grey rip, but
Well, considering right now, because of the hearing...
Pedro, shh, Pedro, the zombies.
and then her eyes, and then cut through her, so gently in the night or in the dawn.
Siri.
And then cuddles her right through the generator. Like an obvious upscale to a for the wondrous transmission from meal to and
Jova, I don't quite know what you're getting at the moment.
Alright, they left.
his tongue, and oh my god, she ran right through him!
They left. Now we can...
She's a ghost, guys. She went right through him.
Yep.
Anyway,
No wonder
Siri,
she's
you there?
immune.
Yes, Dibs, go ahead.
No, I was just wondering if Siri was there.
I guess not, Dibs.
Guess she's been taken. Get Liam.
She got caught by the hunters.
I guess.
Do not return. I you.
Alright, moving on.
Hop, skip, and jump.
A stop sign. Well, everything is stopped around here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, there we go. Let's climb through here, and there we go.
Boy, Ellie must be pretty good to jump up over that.
We'll get there.
Eventually.
Oh wow, she's having trouble, isn't she?
That's okay. She's a Naughty Dog NPC character. She'll make it. Corrupt bastards.
Strange seeing a checkpoint with no soldiers.
Oh, I think I heard
wonder if
Siri's
this
mic
is a
off.
checkpoint.
You there, Siri?
This place has been abandoned for a while now.
Hello.
Yeah, she
Ah, there you go. I was just going to
Yes,
ask you.
sir.
I was just
Hold on,
going to
there's
ask you.
another conversation.
These are rations.
Sorry.
Why wouldn't they give them their food?
Sometimes they ran out.
What? Did they give him cake?
Held on.
That never happened in Boston.
It's a lie.
It happened all the time.
Stop feeding us lies. Give us our rations. AKA, can I have some... AKA, can we eat dinner now?
No.
Oh.
But I'm hungry.
No.
Why?
I'll
I
eat.
said so.
I'll eat first because
It's making me grow razor sharp teeth when I have to eat other people.
Ew.
Hey, that's just how apparently adaptation works.
Anyway, I was just going to ask Shiri, what would you do in a zombie apocalypse?
Would you put on a tube top and go about the city running away? Because that's what Jill would do.
I would probably try to act like one, and then failing that, run like a mother trucker.
Seriously, though, what the heck was up with Jill's outfit in Resident Evil 3? I mean, it's not bad per se, but
It's not zombie apocalypse appropriate.
I wonder how Resident Evil characters would handle a Last of Us situation.
Oh, I know how they would handle it. Very efficiently, especially Nemesis.
yeah.
Well, the ones in I don't think the ones in 7 would mind that much. They're stuck in one building anyway.
Lucky.
So guess what? We actually found some hunters who
Oh, actually,
if
maybe
they were
not.
in this universe, like how they would handle everything going on.
yeah.
Yeah, they'd be used to it.
So yeah, these particular hunters are actually know us because they're part of the same gang from other hunters that we've killed before. So obviously not a good idea to get caught by them. So let's see if we can try to sneak our way through.
Joel, are you touching my butt?
Actually, no, I'm not, as you can see.
No, but it looks like they're awfully close. Ew. What the hell's wrong with me today?
It's platonic love. Well, not yet, but soon.
Dwebs, I think that Ace Attorney part just kind of,
It
it
screwed
triggered
with my
everyone.
head.
It triggered everyone.
Trigger this motherfucker.
Alright, so let's see if we can try to catch that guy from the back. He's still walking over there.
Actually, if the last episode of Crossroads ended like this, it would have been a better ending.
Oh.
Zombie,
Let it go, Dwayne. Let it go.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Nah, I was just making a
British joke.
Making a British joke.
Let it go, let it go.
Yeah, I'll
Back anymore.
I'll let it go when you let go of your mic, Jova.
Letting it go now because it's a headset. And I turned away and slammed the door.
Jova, quiet, we're in a zombie apocalypse.
We can
I don't
have a nice zombie
I don't-
apocalypse.
Yeah, that's
don't-
right.
But Jova, I don't want my death to be known as death by frozen.
Well, then ask Nemesis. He'll make sure you're anything but frozen.
Well, yeah, I mean, death by Star Trek Nemesis, that would be worse.
No, not that Nemesis. I'm talking about the good and smart Nemesis. The zombie. Building a giant rocket launcher.
I'm pretty sure he was disappointed about the Pokemon announcement this week.
Oh, yes, he definitely was. No stars. No stars.
Well, to be honest, I never really expected a current generation to just suddenly shift a console.
I'm sorry, dude. We flashed forward back to the Nintendo Switch event back in January where you kept saying, "Come on, Pokemon stars."
True, you did say that, Dwebs. Deji's got to their Ace Attorney style.
Well, remember that was months ago. I've had time to think about that since then.
No, you haven't.
Hang on.
I mean, well, one thing I always had in my mind was, I didn't think a Gen 4 remake was going to happen, to be honest, because the remakes so far have just been on one system at a time. Sorry, one per system.
I don't know why people are clamming for a Gen 4 remake this early. Granted, I guess there's the battle with the Switch, and dear lord, that Chris Knops guy is really getting annoying.
Well, isn't he? He seriously overreacts to everything.
And
Yeah.
seriously,
Alright, enough with the subtweeting.
Wait, speaking of tweeting, Aaron had his say.
Yes, I'm responding to that right now.
This was supposed to be a joke. This was supposed to be a joke.
The poor guy's probably an alcoholic by now.
Oh yeah, when he said, "Does anyone know who owns the rights to Bubsy?" Asking for a friend.
Back in April.
Yeah, well, now we know it's some
like early April.
And Mike Pollock was in on it too, dear lord.
Some Chinese group who somehow managed to have the trademark to Accolade. Yeah, they're back.
See? Memeing is evil.
But it can be used for good. Though why the hell we have it for the Emoji Movie, I'll never know. That's, oh my god, the Emoji Movie. That's also something nobody asked.
And how many people do you think are going to see it?
Apparently Sony expects a lot of people are going to see it, considering how much money they sunk into it, marketing-wise.
Well, I thought, it should be easy enough for Sony. Their animated films. I mean, they're the only major studio that has animated films made at cheaper prices. Illumination, I think. Okay,
seriously though, I'm serious when I say this. The Emoji Movie could maybe at least have had a better foot to step on if everything we hadn't seen for that movie is utter and complete idiocy and the most dumbest of jokes. And oh my god, they have Patrick Stewart singing word number 2. Are you serious? He's a poop emoji, by the way.
Well, if there's one thing we can rely for Patrick Stewart on is that, I mean, it's like that with even when he was in the worst Star Trek stuff, he was still trying.
He's not able to save us though. He was at least able to save Nemesis.
All that Insurrection.
I love how that guy just told the other guy, keep your expectations in check. You'll live longer that way. Basically, stop aiming high, dude. It's too late now. But yeah, this is actually one of the harder sections in the game, especially if you're trying to be stealthy like I am, because there's a lot of people in this building, and you have to find a way to climb to the top floor in this building because that's the only way out.
Hell, actually, Jova, recently, I found out a good use for Star Trek Insurrection. You there, Jova?
I said what? Yes.
I was like, yeah. I put it on in the background, and then the film is so mind-numbingly dull. I just put it on in the background and concentrate on my revision.
So it helps you meditate.
Well, revise.
Oh no, Pedro, you're knocking out Hunk from Resident Evil. Everyone cares about him, right?
But hey, at least Insurrection has more of a purpose that way.
Honest question, who here cares for Hunk?
Not me.
Deji?
Wait, who are we talking about?
Hunk.
I rest my case. Hunk from Resident Evil.
I'm not Resident Evil.
Yeah, I'm not into Re either.
Basically, originally he was going to be the star of Resident Evil 3 before Resident Evil 3 became the awesome piece it was. He's the guy who says nothing in post-game content.
Ah, so he would have been the Boba Fett of the game.
Yeah.
Guy who says nothing, and yet for some reason people love him.
Yeah, thankfully that was put on ice, because, hey, the actual thing we got with Resident Evil 3 was an awesome story about Jill Valentine having to go up against, quite possibly, the smartest and deadliest of Umbrella Corpse's creations.
Wasn't Chris Redfield in that game too, or am I getting that mixed up for another one?
He is in, but it's technically like post-game content that you'll find about what happened to him afterwards. In regards to actually being the playable character, nah, that's Jill and Carlos.
I gotta say though, I actually do admire Seven for not relying on the traditional Resident Evil characters and going for a completely new one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still in continuity with the other 6, but it's its own. It's kind of like what James Bond does, when stuff in the James Bond films gets too outlandish, the next film helps bring it down to helps dial stuff down and takes it back to basics.
Yeah, I'll admit.
I think that's what happened with 7 after 6.
Yeah, I'll agree. Honestly, okay. Speaking as someone who does like Resident Evil games past 1, 2, and even 3, yeah, I like 4. I like 5. I don't really care for Code Veronica, but that's another. But yeah, I like 4 and 5. I mean, yeah, of course, 5 was a bit actiony here and there, but it at least saw the general scares and really still felt like a nice epic conclusion. 6, though, 6 overdid it to the wazoo. Not only did 6 try to retread familiar territory, not only did 6 go way too actiony, 6 had to go to make it a hallway.
I mean, I think technically 7 has a hallway too, but at least there's a reason for it. You're actually in a house.
Not just that, but the thing, like, again, 7 went back to that cheesy thing of, like, for example, no matter what kind of thing hurts you, like getting stabbed or shit like that, and no matter how much, no matter basically, Shiwa, no matter how much blood you lose, no matter how many times you get stabbed, impaled, or shit like that, all you have to do is take your bottle of alcohol and put it on your arm, and that somehow heals stab wounds to the gut.
I love Angry Joe's joke
because video games. That's why.
Yeah.
I love Angry Joe's joke on that, where he literally gets his hand cut off, but then putting alcohol on it fixes it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that kind of classic, cheesy, but hilarious, but always charming video game logic that I was missing from the more recent ones.
You know, that's another thing. While most Resident Evil games remember that they could be corny while also scary, 6, for some reason, despite being the most action-packed, tried to act the most serious and scary. Like, seriously. It's like, you know what's really ironic? 6 felt like the game that I was actually trying the most to be, but failing miserably at.
It's kind of like with this game, where no matter how many times you get shot, no matter how many times the zombies wound you, all you have to do is take your medical kit and patch your arm, and that somehow heals you.
Yeah, I love Resident Evil 5 for stuff like that, too.
It's kind of like, of course, the same thing would apply to Metal Gear with the rations, but it's even more cheesy
fair,
with
Metal Gear. We have the nano machine.
Not just that,
Everything.
but well, actually, never. Well, remember, Joe, Big Boss didn't have nanomachines in him, at least not in the beginning.
Oh my God, that's right.
So, but
hey, eating snakes somehow heals everything.
Yeah.
Even though some of those snakes should be poisonous.
Wild Web's snake eater.
Even though some of those snakes I'm pretty sure should be poisonous, so eating them should probably poison you, but nope. For Naked Snake, it heals him.
Well,
well,
I guess that's why he's called Punish Snake.
Well, that's in 5, but sure.
Have any of you guys actually seen someone try to eat a snake?
Yes.
Yeah, the Metal Gear Solid 3 commercial.
I meant in real life.
That was
Indiana
a live
Jones.
Have you, Pedro?
Nope.
Have you, Shuri?
No.
Have you?
No.
I have.
Well, you live in New York. New York's quite the place.
I live in New York too. I don't see random bizarre things.
We have a lot of various things over in New York, state-wise and city-wise.
Look, the weirdest thing I've seen is that someone had a chicken in front of their in their front door, just leaving it guarding the place.
Well, hey, chicken is a good thing to have guard.
But that wasn't in New York. That was in New Jersey.
Well, yeah.
Well, what
New
are you
Jersey.
expecting in New Jersey? The same place that gave us Jersey Shore, one of the most sexist, stupid, and sexually innuendo-packed shows.
Well, here we have Geordie Shore.
You guys actually tried to Britishify Jersey Shore.
Honestly, Joe, when it comes to Jersey Shore, I'll just quote the Beavis and Butthead's riff on that show from season 9. Where Butthead literally goes, "Damn it, Beavis, you've watched 4 seasons of this show and you've learned nothing. What a waste of time.
So, in that case, how did that work out for you guys in Britain?
I haven't seen it. What about you, Sherry? Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it either, but like it's still ongoing, I think.
I was about to say.
So let me get this straight. We actually had the balls to end. Wait, is Jersey still going on?
Basically, Jove, around here, it's called Geordie Shore because it's
Can we?
it's set in Newcastle.
Sorry, Did you wanted to talk about something good?
Yeah, like this game.
How about that new Spider-Man game?
Oh yeah, I think
Well,
Steve's showing off at
well,
E3.
to be fair, Deji, I've already explained it earlier, Deji.
There's always so much we can talk about walking around here.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, basically.
What
Okay,
do you want me to do?
well, let me.
Concentrate on this empty room. Look at that flame over there. Now we're going up the stairs, y'all.
Well, anyway.
So
if you need reason, basically the only way out is for the top of the building, and the problem is that this is one of the hardest sections in the game. There you go. I even had a jump cut because I actually failed. It's one of the hardest sections in terms of trying to stuff your way through because it's very easy to get seen because there's a lot of people. Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
So I can't believe we're gonna be seeing free Last of Us games at E3 this year.
Free Last of Us game? Oh, right.
Days Gone and the new God of War game.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, where the Kratos is actually played by Teal'c from Stargate SG-1.
Seriously, why is God of War doing that?
I don't know, but the strangest part is that Teo, who's the God of War fan in this group, when I first saw that footage, I thought, oh god, Teo is gonna be angry as fuck at this. But no, he actually told me, and I quote, "Oh, don't worry, that's just one section. It will not be the whole game." And I'm like, "How are you?" I was like, "How are you so sure?" But I guess he's the God of War fan, so I guess
he knows.
I guess he would. I guess you have to be a God of War fan to know. I guess.
See, the thing about God of War is like, well, yeah, most people remember it for
The QTE stuff.
However, one thing we have to remember is that that game actually does do stuff other than QTEs, and well, let's just say the stuff that's not QTEs, you're gonna find rather interest.
He's
and it seems like this fourth God of War, and basically it seems like this fourth God of War game is actually possibly doing something more expanded outside the QTEs, which probably is what had you interested.
We'll see the C3, I guess.
So, by the way, has it been confirmed yet if James Franco is the guy in Days Gone?
I don't know.
I don't think it is.
I swear to
Anyway,
God, it looks just like him.
I was gonna say earlier though, like Phantom Pain is probably the one that is even the most egregious in terms of that intro, because when you get a fatally wound, just take this random spray that they never explain what it is, spray it on the wound, and there you go, all peachy.
And then eventually we got zombies. Hey, that reminds me, the guy in that game is also called Venom Snake.
Oh, by the way, Deji, you said 3, you forgot the 4th one.
Which one was that?
Metal Gear Survive.
Wait, oh my god, are we actually getting more word about Metal Gear Survive?
No, well, it has zombies, therefore I'm just rolling with Deji's joke of the Last of Us clones.
Well, he said at E3 though.
Well, I'm pretty sure it will be at E3, wouldn't it? I mean, it's one of Konami's big games for this year.
How long before we're gonna start seeing pachinko machines at E3?
Okay, if we're gonna see Metal Gear Survive, it's gonna be at Microsoft C3.
Probably, because remember, Jova, Sony has Death Stranding in the pipeline, so obviously they don't want to bring up the can of worms that Metal Gear Survive is also.
You know. Wouldn't it be just funny if Metal Gear? Wait, hold on. But Death Stranding's not showing up at E3.
How do you know?
Kojima said.
Confirmation of that from Kojima-san.
Oh, he did? Oh, I didn't see that. Well, regardless of that, remember, Death Stranding is a Sony IP, and I'm pretty sure they didn't want to open that can of worms because it might give bad publicity and stuff.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, I don't think. And besides, really, Konami announcing something in a Microsoft E3.
It won't be the first time, Jova, actually, because Metal Gear Solid 5 was first showed off at the Microsoft conference.
Oh, remember,
Maybe it'll be
guys.
showing up in both.
Remember when people always. I can still remember being surprised when I first saw Activision show off exclusive stuff for Sony consoles. I was always like, wait, I thought they were buddies with Microsoft, not Sony.
Oh, you mean the Crash Bandicoot trilogy?
No. For Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Which is apparently going to be a timed exclusive.
On Sony's platforms.
And for some reason,
it's not timed exclusive. It's multi-platform. It's
You
just
think
that
you think Microsoft would be the one doing that since it's in Microsoft's consoles that Call of Duty is more popular.
I was
Like,
talking about.
I guess Activision got bored or something.
I was talking about Crash Bandicoot when I said timed exclusive. But
Oh, okay.
Well, apparently, they said there'll be more. Activision have teased more news about Crash. So
Honestly,
honestly, I'd be shocked if Crash wasn't going to be at E3. Go on, Pedro.
Here's how I see it. The more platforms the trilogy is in, the more copies will sell. The more copies will sell, the more likely Activision will greenlight a possible Crash 4.
Thank you. That's what I've been telling
we
you.
already got a Crash.
You're not the first. You're not the first to say that, and I agree.
Yeah,
Thank
like
you,
I honestly
thank you.
understand this thing. Oh, Crash needs to be a PS4. Why? Who exactly wrote that and made it a law? Exactly, I don't get you.
And then there are people who say, "Oh, well, they should only look at the Sony sales because it's Sony that were the main people asking for it."
Okay, I'll just say this: Crash fanboys, we're not in the 90s anymore. Get over it.
Like,
Also,
seriously,
I'd like to say you're not good at marketing.
and
Yeah.
people actually seem to think that people on Nintendo wouldn't be interested in a cartoony platform.
This reminds me of
Like invented cartoony platformers.
yeah,
right?
this reminds me of this reminds me of the whole this needs to be at kind of like how whenever someone announces something that used to be in Nintendo consoles, but then suddenly makes it either multi-platform or for another platform altogether. This must be in a Nintendo Why? Who exactly wrote that and made it a law exactly?
I will admit, though, it is weird that Nintendo's not getting Mega Man Legacy Collection 2.
Yeah, I will agree that it's weird. I mean, considering it's something that the Nintendo Switch can perfectly run just as good as the other, so there's no reason for it. But at the same time, to instantly go against and try to boycott any goodwill towards the collection just because that's just stupid.
I mean,
Although
it's especially stupid if you're boycotting the game, even though you have a console that you can actually play the game on.
Yeah.
I agree.
Now you see, if you're complaining that why didn't the first Legacy Collection didn't have all 10 games plus base?
That's a very good question. I agree.
Because you're telling me that a PS4 could not run.
It could, Deji. But here's the
3DS can run a PlayStation game.
Okay, here's the basic thing. We could do that, but at the same time, we'll get more money if we divide the series into collections.
But here's the thing: what if people feel that they're ripped off?
That's just the thing, Deji. You're asking the overall gaming community to act rational, and that's folly. That's your folly right there.
Here's the problem that some gaming companies have to learn, though. You can only shake some consumers for so much money. Yes, some will be diehard fans, but eventually, if you keep pulling money-grubbing stuff, your sales are going to start Peter. Case in point, Capcom had to learn that lesson.
And yet they're still doing it with the Legacy Collections.
Yes. Baby steps. But there was a
So yeah, guess what? I'm trying to distract that one last guard. He's literally guarding the fucking exit, and I'm trying to distract him by throwing a brick or a bottle. But unfortunately, he only looked. He's a very competent guard, surprisingly, and he won't leave his post.
I love
guess that makes sense why they put him at the end.
Pedro, I love the way you said that. He's literally guarding the fucking exit, Pedro 2016. So 2017, sorry.
Alright, let's try again. Go get the brick. Go get the brick, boy. Go get the brick.
Fall for it. Please be a dumb mook.
And throw.
Dang it, he's still not moving.
God damn it, you and your competency. Fine, I'm just gonna book it. Ha! Gotcha!
Just pull a Dwibs. Pull a me, yeah.
Wow.
Fucking competent mooks.
Rest in
Yeah, a
peace,
smart
Cocktail.
person would probably just throw the brick at him.
This is one of the few mooks who will manage to go to mook heaven.
Yeah, Pedro, that's a good point, actually. Why don't you just throw the brick at the guard?
Because if I don't hit his head, I won't knock him out. I'll just knock him over, and then he'll be alerted to my presence. It's technically an option, but it's very risky. I normally never do it.
Speaking of risky, Sante is apparently now on Switch.
Yeah, well, that's expected. Way Forward is very supportive of Nintendo, so that's not surprising. Another free soldier's dead. What's going to take? Give
That's
up?
some interesting decorating.
It is.
Edge over, is Mighty Switch Force on the Switch?
Think so.
I mean, come on, that's so obvious.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was saying, Crash is in other platforms. Stop being a whiny baby and deal with it.
Yeah, hashtag deal with it.
Exactly. Seriously, oh, actually, hold on. Are we gonna get that scene? No, never mind. That's in the next part. Never mind.
Boy,
As
Liberty
Joel
City.
wanders through the ruins of his city.
No.
There's more of them.
Liberty City got even more crud.
Joel, that's not the Konami code.
Who knows the Konami code by heart?
How did they say this?
I think I forgot it at this point. I've rarely used it anyway. I never really cared much for the Konami code, to be honest.
And now, sadly, there may not be much reason to care for the Konami code.
I'm not sure if Pez still does that.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Ugh, it's a swampy marsh out here.
Savage Starlight. Oh, look, a movie adaptation of Ellie's comic book. Unfortunately, she never got to see it because the apocalypse destroyed movie theaters. And look at that, Webs. A little tribute to Hitchcock's Vertigo.
I'm not quite sure that's what people would want to see right about now, though.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
wonder why.
that'd be like if say after an outbreak of killing by birds, there were posters everywhere of Birdemic.
Or of Alfred Hitchcock's movie Birds, which is
Yeah.
actually scary. Oh my god, so was Birdemic just trying to be Alfred Hitchcock's Birds now that I think about it?
It's Sci-Fi Channel's remake.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
All right, everybody. In the next part, we enter into the
Twilight Zone?
I forgot what kind of
Twilight
what you name
Zone.
that kind of whatever. We'll enter into that building and hijinks ensue. See you on.
Skyscraper.
Moving on.
That building.
That building. See you everybody for the next part.
See ya.